As you heard recently on WGLT, girls flag football will become the newest official high school sport in Illinois starting next fall. For a sense of how popular it could be, look no further than girls wrestling. The Illinois High School Association added a state championship in that sport 2 years ago. In this interview with WGLT correspondent Randy Kindred, IHSA Wrestling Administrator Sam Knox says girls' participation is soaring.
It's growing tremendously, and it's going to be exciting to see what it looks like 5 and 10 and 20 years from now.
And I've always admired wrestlers because I know what a challenging sport it is, and the discipline that it takes to stay in shape and have the proper diet. But clearly, girls kind of have embraced that, haven't they?
They sure have, and I've never wrestled a match in my life. And neither have you, I'm guessing.
That's right.
But I agree with you that in all the sports that we offer at the IHSA high school level, I would argue that wrestling is by far the most challenging for your body and also your mind, because it's that individual sport where you completely control everything you do on the mat. And there's a lot of off-mat challenges, as you referenced, watching your weight, staying hydrated, all those things that matter in wrestling that other sports don't have to think about. You can be whatever size you want in football, basketball, but in wrestling, that all matters. And that's the challenge that those kids face. And just some raw numbers here, Randy, with girls wrestling, the growth we've seen over the last 3 years. Back in the 21-22 school year, we had just a little over 1,200 girls around the state who were body fat tested and participated for their high schools. This year we had over 2,600, so more than double just 2 years ago. And at the postseason level, where we can see how many girls participated, 2 years ago, the very first year of IHSA wrestling, we had 517 girls wrestle at the sectional level, the opening round of the tournament. This year we had over 1,400 girls wrestle in the regional, so almost triple what we had just 2 years ago. So it's easily our fastest growing sport in Illinois, probably the fastest growing girls sport in the country. Flag football is another one coming around the corner. It's going to grow quickly too, but it's been really exciting to see girls wrestling grow so fast. And with the quick growth, there are some hurdles that we have to overcome and some changes we have to make, but we're getting to a point where it's becoming a more mainstream sport than ever before.
There was a female wrestler who came to town to talk to athletes at Illinois State. Wrestling had really kind of turned her life around, and she had been headed down a bad path and went on and became a world-class female wrestler. And so I guess that's a goal that these girls in Illinois can have now, isn't it?
It sure is. I think about all these girls who participate just in Illinois. If they didn't have wrestling, what would they do in the wintertime? Because most of them would probably tell you they aren't basketball players. They probably aren't cheerleaders or dance team members. What else would they do in the wintertime if they didn't have wrestling? So it's really looking at it from the adult perspective of giving teenagers something to do and how to represent their school and give them reasons to show up to school every day and keep their grades up and do their homework and all those things to stay eligible. It's exciting to know that these girls have that opportunity now.
Like you said, boys wrestling has been around in Illinois for 90 years. Is there kind of a renewed excitement for them and a kind of a newness to this that has been fun to watch from your perspective?
You hit it right on the target there. Just watching the girls' tournament, the level of sportsmanship is quite different than the boys. I'm not saying the boys are bad sports, but they're just a lot more intense and a lot more hungry for that win than the girls are sometimes. Girls wrestle one another. They check on each other to make sure they're okay, and they're trying not to hurt each other, and they're doing it for all the right reasons. Again, not saying the boys don't. They wrestle a little bit differently. Boys are super duper intense. So are the girls, but the sportsmanship right after the match is quite a bit different when you watch the two. Seeing the boys sit on the chairs waiting to get their medals on the stand, the boys sit there and don't talk to each other. They are silent. They're focused. They either just came off a tough loss or they're not happy about fourth place. They wanted third place, and they sit there in those chairs silent. The girls are totally opposite. They are talking. They're laughing with each other. They're telling stories. They know each other from club wrestling, or I wrestled with her a couple years ago in this tournament, etc. They're more on a friendly level, I would say, because they seem more happy to be there, and that's kind of refreshing to watch that happen especially here in the beginning stages of girls wrestling growth.
That's Sam Knox, the Illinois High School Association's administrator for wrestling, speaking with WGLT correspondent Randy Kindred. Head to WGLT.org to see an extended version of this story, including Randy's interview with Chloe Hoselton. She's the Prairie Central High School junior who just won the 235-pound state championship in girls wrestling.